name is Andy Kaufman, host of the People and Projects podcast. Welcome to my free video series entitled 20 Ways to Radically Improve Your Ability to Deliver Projects. An important step in planning out your project is to define success. That might, once again, seem obvious, but think about it. The last time you delivered a project, how did you know, in practical terms, whether it was going to be considered to be a success or not? Now, when I ask that question in workshops, sometimes people say, well, it meets the metrics we define for our project. You know, that's a really good answer. But what I find in practice is that a lot of projects don't have those mythical objectives that are measurable, those metrics that are measurable. Well, what PMI calls it are objectives, measurable success criteria. Sometimes we use the term objective synonymous with what's the mission or the goals of the project. Well, they're specific. It's about measurable success criteria. And what I find is without that, in practice, the way people figure out whether it's a success or not is people aren't yelling at them. You know, the beatings have stopped, so it must be successful. It's effectively what a lot of people find. Well, you know what? We can do better than that. And so the idea, the lesson here is get agreement with your sponsor and with key stakeholders of what is success on this project. You know what I find? It's a question we need to be asking a lot more, even on small projects. And perhaps you've seen the acronym before, the SMART. The idea is that your objectives should be specific enough that we understand it. It should be measurable so we know whether we achieve it or not. In fact, I like to say an objective without a number, it's just a slogan. And there's all kinds of slogans that are out there. You know, we need to increase customer loyalty. We need to improve quality. We need to decrease costs. All those are slogans. How do we know that we achieved it? By how much? That's the idea, it's measurable. Now, sometimes people have different definitions for the A and the R, but generally speaking, is it achievable? Is it agreed upon? Is it realistic? Those are different ways of defining those letters. And really the key for that is that they do have to be achievable. They have to be realistic. And there's wisdom in the agreed upon, because if you come up with measurable objectives, measurable success criteria, and people look at them and say, there's no way we can ever hit those, it's not gonna be the same motivating factor. And then the idea of the T, of making it time framed, there's a lot of wisdom in that, because sometimes you can't judge success on a project on day one, right when you deliver it. I've got a coaching client that this is a line he uses. A project delivery date is like a wedding date. You didn't miss your wedding date? Don't miss the project delivery date. Well, if you put all of your focus on just a project delivery date, what's going to happen? Well, you know what? The team's going to put all their focus there, but is it possible that they might sacrifice quality and some other things? Yeah, that's possible. So beyond the delivery date, what about 6 months later? Are there some things you could look at, like number of returns or number of bugs reported? It depends on the type of project. Probably so. Here's the lesson. For your project, ask the question, your sponsor, key stakeholders, how do we define success? Ask it as early as possible in the project. Get clarity around that. Make it as measurable as possible, specific that we understand it. Maybe some that are time framed out there as well. If you do that as you go about delivering, then you know how you're going to be judged. And you can radically improve your ability to meet those and successfully deliver those projects. Hey, take a minute to visit us online at freeprojectmanagementvideos.com. You'll get exclusive access to our free video series entitled 20 Ways to Radically Improve Your Ability to Deliver Projects. We'll see you there.